everyone. This is Avni Singh from Outland Media, and I'm very pleased and honored to be speaking with Acharya Prayagraj Hule from the Vedanta Academy. A little background: Prayagraj Hule hails from a reputed business family in Mumbai. He joined his family business at a very young age, but then, the mysteries of life and the unknown reality is what he pondered on, and consequently, in 1998, he joined the Vedanta Academy. Prayagji has regularly been giving discourses all over the world, and to name a few, in the UK, South Africa, Nigeria, and many more. Chicago and Midwest is lucky as his next Bhaja Govindam series are planned for Chicago in Streamwood starting November 24th to November 28th. This is a 5-day discourse that is planned, and you should hear him and definitely join this for your inner peace and learning. Let's hear from Acharyaji himself. Acharyaji, can you please give us an overview of the Vedanta Sempiternal and its mission?
Vedanta is a philosophy of life and living. It has originated from India. So I often say that Vedanta has originated from India. It is meant for the world. Vedanta is meant for the world, but it has a home, and the home is India. So Vedanta means knowledge. It means the end of knowledge. End of knowledge, you may think that this is tricky. Everybody may say that, no, you must have heard a lot of people saying that, oh no, knowledge should not have an end. Life is a journey, all these colloquial usages. But you'll find that the end of knowledge doesn't mean as though it's the end of learning. It is the end of learning. But why does a human being go on learning? Or why does a human being go on endeavoring? Why does a human being going on doing anything? It's because a lack of peace, lack of contentment, lack of happiness, lack of that satisfaction. So because we have a lack of these aspects in us, we go on doing anything, even learning for that matter. So Vedanta, end of knowledge, means that it is the culmination of happiness. It is a state of, this knowledge introduces you to a state, it merges you this knowledge merges you into a state which is different from all the states humans are experiencing right now. You are in the Midwest. You will find that it's time, and sometime you will go to sleep. And when you sleep from the waking state, Avniji, you enter a dream state or a deep sleep state. So these are only the 3 states a human being experiences. So this knowledge teaches you to go beyond these 3 states. And these 3 states are experienced by anyone in Japan, in right from Toronto to Japan to you will find Asia, from Asia to Europe, from Europe to keep on going towards the West, from the East to the West. Every single individual, irrespective of caste, creed, nationality, experiences these 3 states, the waking, dream, and deep sleep states of happiness or sorrow. So Vedanta introduces you to a state which is beyond these 3 states, and the state beyond these 3 states is called happiness. It's called ultimate happiness. It's called self-realization. It's called, in the Western world, self-actualization. It's called the ultimate happiness. It's called Vedanta Sempiternal. Sempiternal means eternal, everlasting. all you know in the world is that which does not exist. That which exists for a while, or that which is not existed in the past, or that which is existing now and not going to exist in the future. In simple language, I'll tell you. You eat something, Avniji, whatever the best, you tell your husband, you tell your children that I want to eat something which is of my liking. That's why everybody pampers you on your birthday. You find that people are pampering, like people, families are pampering, parents are pampering children. Oh, no, darling, whatever you want, I'll get you. Like. But that, like, whatever you want, it has an end. It has a shelf life. Anything in the world, you find that from the time you were born until now, whatever things excited you. See, the other day I was with someone, and that person said, you know, Prayagji, I had so much joy. I had so much, you have no idea, so much excitement to get that BMW. You have no idea what all I did just the other day before yesterday. In fact, he's a lawyer, one of the topmost lawyers in this country. He said, you have no idea. And he was telling this to his colleague. He was saying, I was telling this to my colleague that day. I was striving. For what? To get that BMW, the latest one. And I got it. I said, for this? Then he said, for this I was striving. The moment I got it, I don't know what happened. As though that pleasure, a devil, he didn't say that, I'm saying, a devil came and took, or the angel came and took away the pleasure from me. I said, I was striving for what? So every time, as I said, from the time you're born until now, you keep on looking forward for something. You keep on looking forward for a good partner. You keep on looking forward for more wealth. You keep on looking forward for a better home. You keep on looking forward for today. If you're married, people want children, and then there's no harm. But what amount of agitation, what amount of sorrow, what amount of joy when you have a child, or when you don't have a child. When you don't have a child, is sorrow. And people are doing all sorts of treatments just to get that child. And the child comes. And the child goes against you. You keep on going into the past and saying that, my God, I did this to you, I did. You keep on realizing, making sure that that child realizes that whatever you've done for the child, you have done for the child. When you've not done anything for the child, you've done everything for yourself. So again, that child comes. What happens to the happiness? Gone. When the child grows up, gone. When your child grows up, all you're looking forward for is your child. But you know, you can't relate to your child properly. You find something else. The moment your child has his child, her child, your grandchild, how it's fascinating how the happiness, the center of the happiness, your child, who was the center of the happiness, once upon a time for you, you can give up anything for the child. You can give up everything for the child. But the moment the center of happiness shifts, your child, the happiness shifted from your child to your grandchild. Because why? Well, you're not understanding that it is not the child which gave you the happiness. It is not the home which gave you the happiness. Go backwards. It is not the child which gave you the happiness. It's not the marriage which gave you the happiness. It's not the home which gave you the happiness. It's not the job which gave you the happiness. It's not your studies which gave you the happiness. You believe that all these things give you happiness, but these do not give you happiness. All that gives you happiness in the world is your focus. You believe. Actually, it's that your focus on yourself.
No, absolutely. Right.
All that gave you happiness is the focus on yourself. And you find when you look backwards, you reach a state in your life. See, Avniji, you know what I find today in the world and why. See, that's what we want to teach the world. If they want to do. You don't want to teach. I don't want to teach anything. I've been teaching because I've been invited. It's not that I get excited. Of course I get excited. It's not that, oh no, I'm one a hypocrite to say I'm not excited. Of course I'm excited. But I'm not excited because, oh, fortunately I'm well-traveled. Fortunately, I come from a big family. Fortunately, I've seen everything in my life. So I'm not doing this for a living. And even, I think, even if I did not have anything, I would never do this for a living. I'm just doing it because a rose is a rose, it gives fragrance. A lotus is a lotus, which is attractive. So I believe that people are inviting me so that they can learn, they get attracted. When I say me means not, what is behind this me? What is behind what I'm talking? So we are here to educate people on what is that which eternally lies with, which is Vedanta, that knowledge. And that knowledge is the knowledge which is called the culmination of all your experiences. And that knowledge teaches you, which is beyond all these three states of happiness. And also, it's in the end of the Vedas. It's in the end part of the four Vedas, Rik, Sama, Yajur, Atharva. And the end of the Vedas has got this philosophy which talks about you and God. Who's the individual? And what is that God? What is that state of sempiternal? Sempiternal, what is that state of eternity? So once you know that state, you become that state. You cannot capture that state. God is not something who lies in a temple, church, or a mosque. God cannot be confined to any places of worship. Just as a government cannot be confined to any one place. No. Prayagraj, the government is only in Washington, in the United States. No, government is everywhere. So God cannot be confined to a place of worship. It's just that these people had to have a place. So therefore they created the temples. And what are we doing? Creating temples and fighting. Creating mosques and fighting. And creating churches and fighting. They're all mad human beings everywhere. And what are they doing? The gods are not affected. You are affected. I'm affected. Today, what is happening in the Middle East? For what? Does anybody care? No one cares. One country is holding on. I'm not saying who's right, who's wrong. That's none of my business. One country is saying we are right. Therefore, we have to finish them off. The other country is saying, no, we are right. Therefore, we attacked that. We did that. You know what they did 50 years back? Whatever be the problem, why can't you just sit down? Then you will say, they'll say, no, who to sit down with? We've tried. That's the only alternative. Children are dead. Okay, why about children? What about, no, people say children. Okay, why are you giving so much value to children? Yes, that same child, that same adult was a child. So the adult doesn't have a value. Only the child has a value. No. A child has a value, but a child has more value because adults have lived their lives. So old man doesn't have a value?
No, every life has a value, of course.
What are you fighting for? One person questions, what are we doing? What are we doing? We've got such a... See, do you realize what must be happening? Suppose, let's say they are great prophets. And these great prophets have gone to God. Let's assume that there is God. When I say means, of course there is God, but not in the way people understand. And let's say all these great prophets have gone up and asking God, what have you done? God will say, you are asking me what have I done? You think I will do such a thing? Do you think I will create such a beautiful planet or such a beautiful universe and pitch one human against other to fight for what? Will I do that?
And fight for him. Above all, fight for him.
And fight for him based on what these people are saying. No, I'm fighting for the cause of God. Firstly, there is no such thing as fighting for the cause of God. Fight is nothing. See, God is beyond fight. God is beyond friendship. Friendship is conducive so that you are calm. When you fight, you are agitated so that it is not conducive for you to approach. So all that can only make you conducive. So they'll say, you people, are you all crazy? We never expected this. We knew humans will go crazy. You give them anything, they'll destroy. They will never grow. And if they want to grow, they'll only grow to destroy. See, even if you want to become rich, what do you do with all the money? You only destroy yourself. Either you destroy yourself. If you're not destroyed, your children are destroyed. Now, I'm not being pessimistic. I'm telling you that when you don't have this knowledge of life and living, you will become successful You will have all the wealth in the world, but you will harm yourself. And if you're not harming yourself, great. So Vedanta is the knowledge which teaches you where the ultimate of happiness lies. Where the ultimate happiness lies. Vedanta is a knowledge which teaches you where the ultimate happiness lies. Vedanta is a knowledge which teaches you where you ultimately go. It's the end of knowledge because it's the highest happiness, highest knowledge a human being can be introduced to, and that knowledge teaches you what is God, where is God. Also, it's in the end of Vedas. And although it says that it is the end of happiness, it is the end of everything. It is the beginning of everything for a human being. Although it says it's the end of happiness, it's not an end of happiness. It is the beginning of everything for a human being. That is Vedanta. Sempiternal means that which lies eternal with you. That which has been there, that which is there now, and that which will be there throughout. It is beyond time, it is beyond space, it is beyond causation. None of the laws of the world can bind that sempiternal state, which is the state of God. That is Vedanta Sempiternal.
No, thank you for that insight. So let me ask you this, and I'm curious, I'm inquisitive, and I'm new to this as well, as you know. But with whatever I've learned so far, I'm very inclined, and of course, I'm wanting to learn more. You gave us a few examples, like of this person that you met who had a goal. He wanted to get a BMW. He got it, and then once he got it, the epicenter changed again. We spoke about the recent times, in the Middle East, the situation in the Middle East, and the war, and how people are fighting over they don't even know what. So, have you seen any examples, or if you could, help me understand better, when this enlightenment. I'm sorry, I'll repeat. So, can you give me an example for me to understand better when this enlightenment comes to a soul, to a human being? What is the transformation that you have seen from your end, in people around you?
See, Avni ji, what you must understand is, it's there in the scriptures, and my guru, my Swamiji always used to tell us, imagine what I'm going to answer this question by posing a question to you. What happens when suppose if you are in a dream, Avni is in the dream, and a hale, happy, there's no such thing as happy marriage. They can be. I presume you're happily married. You are?
Yes.
Yes. I have to ask your husband that. But anyway, I have faith in you, so I'll listen to you. I'll take that answer. But a hale, hearty, happily married, with everything going great with you in the waking state, has entered the dream state of consciousness. And in the dream state, whatever your happiness lies, it is exactly the opposite in the dream state. You are happy, you are married, you are successful in the waking state. But in the dream state, the same person, people don't think. Why? Because they can't remember the dreams. And even if they remember the dreams, they are all sorts of things, these dream books and this and that. Dreams are nothing but it gives you a state of temporary fulfillment, which the waking state cannot offer you. See, whatever fulfillment you want in the waking state, if you don't get that fulfillment, you dream about it. And if that state, if any experience of yours lies incomplete, it gets completed in the dream state. That is nothing but, that is dreams. Now, what is dreams? It's nothing but a fulfillment of an experience for a temporary satisfaction. Understand that. So if you don't complete anything, if you don't complete an experience in the waking state, you complete it in the dream state. But that does not mean it's exhaustion. It's not exhaustion. It's just temporary completion. So, same person goes to sleep. Same person. Height, weight, gender, education, whatever, happiness, husband next to you, this, that. Your husband is sitting next to you. Your children are in the other room. But you dreaming. What are you dreaming? It's fascinating. See, nobody thinks. This knowledge teaches you to think, to awaken that faculty in you which is not awakened. But you should know you have a faculty. You're leading a mechanical, routine existence. You're getting clobbered by the mind. Your own mind is clobbering you every day. It is punching you every day. You are punching. Because of that, you are punching the world. So nobody thinks. You ought to think and make decisions. Why am I doing this? Why have I done that? Where am I? If I'm in the you're in the United States, right? If I'm in the United States, what brought me here? And is this my life? Do I want to be here? Or can I change? You don't have to change. But just that thinking puts you in a different state. So nobody thinks. So your husband is there, right next to you. Your children are there in the other room. You are happy. You got money. You got everything going. You got staff. As you know, in India, we have our colleagues who help us. 4, 5 people who are working for us. But in the dream state, you're suffering what? You are about to divorce. Your children are not happy with you. You have no money left with you. You have a disease. You're hale and hearty in the waking state. In the dream state, you got a skin disease and that is bothering you. Today, something happens to the skin. Oh, what amount of stress. I got a spot. Oh my God, there are so many spots inside. You look at them. No, I've got a spot. Oh my God, dermatologist. Oh. The other day in India, see, this madness has come even to India. Met a guy, not had a bath. See, there's a youngster who's come to visit me. This youngster has told his father and mother, I have never had such a time in my life. This man who you introduced me to, this man means me. He has not told me once what to do. And you guys all the time keep on telling me, eat this, don't eat that, behave yourself. What are you behaving? What are you wearing? Where are you going? Look at your hair. Look at your cleanliness. What time are you waking up? What time are you sleeping? When are you going to study? What is happening to you? How much money are you spending? How much food are you eating outside? This is not the way to behave. All the time you guys are apparent education. But he said, in these 2 days, I have learned so much with this man in silence, just observing him, compared to what I have learned from you, although you are my parents in the last 15 years. I have not learned anything. But this man has not told me anything. Even for a day, he's not told me anything. Do this, do that. I've just seen him and I'm learning. So learning and education is by just living that life. And if anybody wants to come and learn from you, you teach. Not constantly telling them, ye karo, don't do this, do that. Ye karo means, for the Western audience, ye karo means do this. So, in the dream state, you are suffering, Avniji. What happens to all that suffering? You are suffering. And the fact is, you are suffering. You can't take away that fact of you. You are suffering. You have a problem. It's a fact with your husband. You have a problem with your children. You have no money. You have no success. Your job is about to, you have a beautiful job. That a job is about to be taken away from you. What is your state? You're dreaming. What happens to all? You are suffering. It's a fact. The moment you wake up, everything falls back. And you wake up, heartbeat goes. You get up.
Thankfully, I was dreaming. That's the feeling you get. It was a nightmare.
It's absolute nightmare. That you are about to go to the hospital because there is something wrong with you. And you see that in your bank balance, there's no money. And the hospital says you cannot enter. Your husband is not there. Your children are not there. Nobody's supporting you. And you wake up from the dream. From that dream, you wake up and you panting. And then you see next door, oh my God, my husband is fast asleep as usual. My children, you go to the next room. My children are sleeping. Where? Avniji, where? Now where? Where is all this happening? When you wake up?
Yeah, this is in the dream state. Yeah. So, and
from the dream, where do you wake up? You wake up to your state, right? You wake up to the waking
state. The actual state, the
actual state. You have woken up from that nightmarish dream to this waking state for the reality that everything is normal for you. Now, when you look back, imagine you are able to remember your dream. When you look back at your dream, you're laughing. God, what a stupid dream I had. My God, I can't believe it. But now, where are you? Does that dream affect you? All the sufferings in the dream, does it affect you? Now, no. Because you are in the actual state. So your question is, what happens to you when you go to that fourth state? All your problems in the waking state now, all the greed, not you, anybody who has greed, agitations, all the issues, all the imaginary issues, all the funding problem of a business, all the problems of your children, all the problems of your in-laws. In India, they have in-law problems. Not all. Whoever has. You need not have an in-law problem.
That's an interesting topic.
Just see, if a mother-in-law treats her daughter-in-law like her daughter, there's no problem. If a daughter-in-law treats the mother-in-law as a mother, there's no problem. This madness is coming here also now. That, no, we have to live separately. You have no idea the power of a joint family, what all benefits it has. But because we have become so selfish and self-centered, you can't live. Forget the joint family. People are not getting married. Now, I'm not saying you have to get married. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying you don't get married, right? No. Independence. I can't get married. I don't want anybody watching over me. Marriage does not mean watching over you. Therefore, from a joint family system, then the family is separated. They started living husband, wife, whatever, whoever. Now they don't want to get married because they believe that if I want to live a happy life, I need not get married. I can have access to children. I can have access to partners without getting married. Now they don't even want that. They only want to I live with my dog. Don't call him a dog. Call him John. I live with John. I live with Lucy. Who's Lucy? When you come to the West, you don't know. Who's Lucy? Lucy is Lucy. Then someone says, why didn't you just tell Prayagji? Why don't you tell Mr. Prayagraj, it's your dog? You don't call it a dog. Factually, I say, my Lucy. I live with my Lucy. The point is, you should ask Lucy. You can't ask Lucy. Does Lucy want to live with you? Dog wants to live with you. Dog will say no. Human beings are so selfish that even for their own happiness, they unnecessarily captive a dog. All the pets are in the happy state until they get in touch with human beings. They're happy. Unnecessarily, human beings get the pets and go for a holiday. Give your dog to someone. See, do you know, when you go out for a holiday, your dog is suffering more than you because you have given so much of dependence of your emotions on that dog. So the dog now gets dependent and the dog doesn't have a choice. You have a choice. You may have a partner. You're having fun. You're having drinks. You're having fun. You're having all physical indulgences. The dog doesn't have anything. But that dog is dependent on you for its happiness. So while you're away, it's sulking. And what are you doing? You're having a blast. So now it's come to dogs. I am not joking. Avniji, it's not far away. Now we are talking about gender. No? Gender marriage is equal, same gender marriage. That's what in India there's the latest topic. Same gender marriage. It's not far away. Human madness could go up to that point. I want to get married to my pet. You're laughing. It's a laughing matter.
It's funny, but
No, but it is funny. It is funny. You're laughing. You're correct.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. But you don't understand the repercussions. It's not far away when someone says that I want to get married to this person, and nobody understands the choices you make because you are staying with that dog. You are not able to ask that dog, does that dog want to stay with me? The dog doesn't speak because your partner speaks. If you say something, the partner will retort. Don't talk to me like this. The dog doesn't say that. You only says, Tommy. It'll run after you. You come and wag the tail. You get a kick.
And you love that attention. You get the kick out of it.
Absolutely. Your children. What happened to your children? Come here. Huh? Francie. Hey, Francie. Francie. Your child comes and you get a kick. Let the child grow up. Once the intellect of the child comes. Francie. Francie. Where's Francie? Francie is in the room. Yeah, Mom, what are you calling me? I'm studying. What do you want? Don't talk to me like this. Mom, I'm studying. You don't talk to me. But the dog is more dear. Why is the dog dear? Because the dog selfishly caters to you. So, when you are in that state of sempiternal, you stay in that state of sempiternal. Your happiness does not wane away. It is the state of true happiness. It is a state of consistent happiness. It is a state of happiness which lasts ever. You don't change by time. You're not born by cause. You're not affected by causation. You are not confined by space. You become the fulcrum of everything. You become that state of Godhood. From you emanates everything. You don't depend upon the world to augment your happiness. Incidentally, you get married, and it's beautiful. Incidentally, you may have children, it's beautiful. But you do not get married for selfish reasons. You do not have children for selfish reasons. You do not have wealth for selfish reasons. You may have wealth, you will distribute. You have beautiful house, you will share. You do not keep on asking things for yourself. Me alone. So that state is that state which actually every human being is an heir to. Every human being's birthright is to reach that state. You're wasting your time here. You're wasting your time here. And if you don't know what that state is, you will constantly be in worrying. You are worrying and warring. That's what you mean. Either you worry or you war. You're worrying or you're fighting. That's what you mean. Everybody's fighting. As we talk, there are two active wars happening. As we talk. And you believe, you must say, Prayagraj, Chicago, it will not happen. And I'll tell you, Avni, no. India, it will not happen. It's not. Now, I'm not saying you should expect wars. I'm not saying that. But it's not for. So therefore, this knowledge has to be introduced everywhere to the world. It's got nothing to do with any caste creed, nothing. This knowledge is the need of the hour. It's the need of that paradigm shift which is required in this world. And if you don't shift your thinking, if you don't look into yourself, it's a question of time. So that state of sempiternal is beyond the three states of consciousness, beyond the waking, dream, and deep sleep states. And once you reach that state, there's nothing more to achieve. You've achieved everything.
So we did talk about, how this aids the society, what is needed today. I think you gave some very classic examples of, I think, how people were happier earlier and how things are changing. And even the example where you predicted how things are going to be, going forward with the selfish human being, that exists on this earth. So also tell me, if you can summarize, does Vedanta also help with mental health concerns? Do you think that plays a vital role there? Can it help the society in that way?
It's a very, very minuscule issue. See, for Vedanta, mental health issue is the most minuscule issue. It's dealing with the highest problems. It's introducing you to the highest state. So what is mental health? It's a minuscule thing. But it's sad that a minuscule thing has become, imagine a small atom, the power of a small atom is creating hell in this world. John Milton says, your mind can be like heaven, your mind can be like hell. That's the sad part. Your mind is your enemy, your mind is your friend. Your mind is heaven or your mind is hell. Heaven or hell is not a state, is not that you die and you go to heaven. Don't hope. You will not go to heaven. If at all, everybody will go to hell only. That's why you say go to hell. You think, no, Prayagraj. No, Prayagraj, I will go to heaven. No, you may go to heaven. I don't know whether I will go to heaven. I may go to hell. And when you are going also, see, while you're traveling, when you're going, all your friends, relatives, they'll call you. They'll say, come after you die. Avni, suppose if you and me, we die and we are going up. All our friends and family say, come. This is heaven. Don't trust them. Because you know all of them are crooks. So they cannot be in heaven. So just while you're going up also, if they're calling you, you tell them, go to hell. I will go to heaven, wherever the heaven is. Opposite is right. So that state, what you must understand, that mental state, your mind is that state of heaven, your mind is that state of hell. Now, present, your mind can be heaven, your mind can be hell. As we are talking, there are people who are not able to sleep. You're going to go to sleep now. I've had a great sleep. Of course, I slept a little late because I was few people, but wake up. Someone asked me, oh, Prayagraj, yesterday someone asked me, oh, Prayagraj, now that you travel everywhere, do you still wake up at 4:30? What do you mean, now that I travel everywhere? Yes, you wake up probably a little late if you sleep at 12, because our life is, we are with people. People want us to be there a little bit here. But we don't wake up after 4:30, 4:45. Even if I sleep by 12, like last night I slept at 11:30. I was up by 4:45. Normally I get up by 4:15, 4:10. It's because you get that time for yourself, for that study, for that research, to change yourself. The only way you can change the world is to change yourself. You can't change the world. Don't even try changing the world. But what you can do is one thing, you can change yourself. And once you change yourself, everything changes. So it's that state of agitation. As we are talking, people are agitated, not able to sleep. So for Vedanta to handle that mental problems, it's a minuscule part of Vedanta. Unfortunately, it has become the epicenter of everything today. Yes, but to answer your question, yes, because Vedanta deals, the knowledge which deals with the individual. And the individual is that who is suffering with this state of mind. Which is a state of mind which is happy, which is a state of mind which is sad, which is a state of mind which goes on expecting and gets into a state. You're totally burdened with mental problems. You're totally burdened with mental health. What? See, Avni, just look back 10 years, not far away. Okay, 5 years. Where is mental health 5 years? Look back 10 years. Where is mental health 10 years? I mean, you may say, no, Prayagraj, oh, but in the Indian society, it was there, but people never spoke about it. See, this is all fancy talks. But factually, if you take statistics factually, where was mental health? Why is mental health? It is so in your face now because of your selfishness. The focus is on yourself. You focus on yourself means anything you do is for yourself. Suppose if you have a relationship, there are actors and actresses here, anywhere in the world. Mental health. And there's such a big thing. The other day I was watching an interview I believe there are two actors, two very famous actors. And they're getting interviewed. And that, I don't know whether it was a husband or whoever, one person, maybe it was a partner. That fellow, he was asked a question. And it's on a couch. Imagine the couch. So that guy said, no, I want to sit next to my partner. Okay. He said, the other interviewer said, okay, you sit wherever. He was almost going to sit on her lap. And I can see that she was disgusted. Not disgusted, she didn't show, really. He sat next to her. And anything, and I think obviously his partner went through some mental health problems. Poor thing, you feel sad. But what to do? They don't want to take help. See, they believe that they can handle the issue. So what do they go? They go to shrinks. I'm not saying it's going wrong. It's wrong going to shrinks. Shrinks are doing a great job. But where do shrinks go? Avni, suppose if a shrink has a problem, where does the shrink go? It comes to us. In the video, unfortunately, I don't have the time to speak one-on-one. Not that I don't want to speak, but this has to reach. So the point is, I'm saying, the moment the interviewer, imagine like you, there was a person who was interviewing her, she's saying something and she's talking about the mental health, he's going on kissing her arm. Here I go. No. Going on kissing the arm. I'm not saying it's wrong. He may be doing, he obviously is doing it genuinely. But she's not going to get that happiness by him kissing her shoulder while the interview is on. What are you showing to the world? See, these are all shallow emotions. You need to get down to the root of the problem. Why is my partner stressed? It's a root. Who can get a help? It's a root. And they're still taking medicines. No one ever wakes up and says, I don't want to take medicine. I want to get beyond medicines. I tell people, why do you eat food and then take medicines? Your food should be your medicine. Your medicine has become the food now. You sit, when you're eating, you'll sit, people are also eating, but they're eating more medicines. 7, 8, 9, 10 tablets. You rather die. Your food should be your medicine. But the mind is again, it's in a state of havoc where your mind doesn't stop. The mind doesn't stop with liquor. See, in India. Now I say in India because see, we are very open. We're very, in a way, we are conservative. I'm a very modern person. There's a little like that when you're conservative, it gives you that zest of life. It gives you that appetite to live life more. We want, I will not come with the interview with my kurta out. Hey, Avni, how are you? I will not come like that. Bare body. No, I'm not saying in the West it's wrong. In the West, they have that culture. We have a culture. I won't show you my tattoo. Avni, see my tattoo. Everywhere there's tattoos. I'm not saying tattoos are wrong. Why do you have tattoos?
Let me ask you this. Do we think, and I'm sorry if I'm interjecting, do we think that as times have changed, from the minimalistic days that were there in the older days when we said people were happy to, getting down to having so much around us, people have started looking for happiness in small materialistic things. And once they get them, they feel, is this what I was running behind? I mean, how do you see it?
See, you must understand. There's an error in your question. Not that you are wrongly questioning. You are rightly. Your attitude of questioning is right. But what you must understand, that in the olden days, they had more wealth. They had everything possible. But the minds were slightly calm. Now, again, when I say olden days, means I'm not talking about the days of war. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and the Holocaust. I'm not talking about all that. But I'm talking about when people had more, they were happy with less. But today, even if they have more, they are not happy even with less. They have more wealth and they have more of everything, but yet they are unhappy. This is what you must understand. So it's got nothing to do with quantum. It's got nothing to do with quality. It is got to do with the state of your mind. You can have the best of the best of husbands. You can have the best of wives. But if you do not know how to deal with her, if you do not know how to deal with him, Vedanta is all about dealing with human beings. So it's got nothing to do with that. It's got nothing to do with quantum. You can have everything. You can still want more. You can have nothing. You can still be happy. Now, I'm not saying that you should not have, you can have everything, but you must understand happiness is not in, the quotient of happiness does not lie in a particular object of a higher quantum or a lesser quantum, or of a higher quality and of a lesser quantum. In short, your happiness, what gives you happiness, Avniji, what gives you happiness is a solitaire. What gives someone happiness is just one meal. Just a meal, I'm happy. Just give me one meal, that's enough. So, it's the state of mind of how the mind, when it does not have a particular object, it keeps on fluttering. Agitations of the mind keep on fluttering. But the moment you give that object, the fluttering stops. So, a temporary state of happiness is the absence of agitation. A permanent state of happiness is the total annihilation of agitation. That's the difference. So Vedanta helps you by temporarily handling your agitations, by teaching you this knowledge of how not to blame the world for your state, and to blame only oneself. Who is you for your state, this state? Medicines. How much medicine is that? Make food your medicines, not medicine your food. Make wealth your friend, not your enemy. Make emotions an attractor, not a dejector. Make knowledge a transformer, not a piler. You've made knowledge a piler. Just because you have made knowledge a pile, it piles on you. If I have a depiction of a man having knowledge, I'll go on piling books on his head or on her head, and show that how the pile of knowledge, because he's a brilliant man. But has he transformed himself? Have he transformed herself? Or today we are, what do we call? Don't call us, everything is complicated. No, don't call him he, don't call him she, call them they. I said, okay, they. We are non-binary. Hey, you know what is happening in the schools in the United States? What is happening in the schools in the United States? They're complicating there also. Teachers are saying that no, we should, don't give a child, don't call him he or a she, give him whatever he wants to dress. He or a she is factual. If he's born as a he, he's born as a he for now. What he wants later, you don't, the teacher doesn't have to change. But if you condition that child that no, you're not a he, you have to be like a she, or you're not a she, you have to be like a he. A he is a he. Because he's born, he's got certain genital functions. A he cannot bear a child. A she can bear a child. It's a fact. So why are you complicating that in the schools? A male is a male, the female is a female. Yes, when you grow up later, because of human pressures in the past, a man is born as a man, a gender, but he's changed because of human pressures. I can't discuss this now, probably in some other forum. But who's created that feminine? Who's gotten that masculine appearance, but a feminine quality? Mainly feminine qualities. It's you. You are not able to handle pressure. So therefore, in a masculine body, you wanted a masculine body, but now you've got a feminine appearance, feminine qualities. Or vice versa. You're born as a woman and you've got masculine tendencies. Well, you find that you don't want to bear a child, when you find that you want to drive, you want to do everything like a man. So who's created that? It's you. But why are you complicating that in the school, in the children? That's not the focus. If I have a chance to talk to educators, I'll keep school timings only for 4 hours. In those 4 hours, I'll teach them education which is necessary. Open their minds up. Open there to educate the intellects. Not thrusting them with information. Yes, I'll teach them mathematics. I'll teach them science. I'll teach them geography. History is useless. Yes, certain characters which help people. It's up to a point. And I'll teach them only for 3 hours. That too in an educative way. And that 1 hour of physical fitness, 1 hour of teaching them civic sense, 1 hour of teaching them what is probably little religion. In that 1 hour, we'll teach them what is fitness, what is health, what is eating, what is not eating. How do you conserve your environment? I'll teach them all that. Then you'll find a difference. 6, 7 hours, a child is in school. When the child comes home, the poor thing is tired. In India, they have to go. They have to go early in the morning. Sometimes it takes them 1 hour to reach schools. Sometimes it takes them 1.5 hours to come back. Then their tuitions, then that peer pressure. By the time the child is finished, therefore it has so much pressure that it needs a vent. And you find today parents, it's very simple for parents. They'll just put a mobile phone there. They'll just put a mobile phone. Why? Because it's convenient for them. They don't have to spend time. See every child, they are hooked to screens. Why? Because the parent is impatient. The parent doesn't want to sit and chat while they eat. Put the mobile. And is that eating? Is it in Hindi se na? Bhata hai, hame bhata hai. Is it absorbing that food? Why? Because it's looking at the device. So Vedanta gives you clarity of thinking in every aspect. It gives you the clarity of intellect. It gives you the clarity of that buddhi. It awakens, as I said. That buddhi is sleeping in you. You need to awaken your buddhi. You need to awaken your intellect. So that you don't have to depend. You may learn. Of course you have to learn, but you don't have to depend on anyone for the clarity. You need people. We need financial analysts. We need politicians. We need everybody. Because the world is not you and you. We need everyone to harmonize. But in order, if you are not in harmony, how can you find harmony in the world outside? So stop complicating things. I want to tell them, stop complicating things. Don't complicate things. Just keep it simple. And a child, don't burden a child with all these issues. Just let the child's purity blossom on its own. Today, children are stressed. Children. I was in the United States. I left the country on 7th of October. Last month. Avni ji, before I left, there were 4 children who came to see me. And they were, once they saw me, they're like, who's this man? We want him to teach us. Because they were so stressed. Children being stressed. Children are stressed because the amount of stress parents carry with themselves. And what are we creating? People I know, children are fighting for environment. What are you fighting for environment? I ask, I don't see, sometimes they get offended. Oh, I'm an environmentalist. They say. Oh, I said, fantastic. I one or two, I asked them. The other day I asked, this is the most absurd thing. Just last month, someone told me, oh, I'm an animal activist. So, wow. And where? In Bombay. In Bombay? I said, wow, nice. So I said, oh, so you're a vegetarian? Oh, no, I'm not a vegetarian. Animal activists. No, we are only dogs and cats. No, but chickens we hate. Therefore, we cut them and eat. I'm not here to tell them what you eat. Pigs, no. You know, pigs. So much, they're so intelligent. And you're breeding them as plants and you're killing them and eating pork. Just, I'm coming. People may not like this interview. I'm coming. Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. How many turkeys are going to be destroyed of Thanksgiving? Think.
No, absolutely. And talking about...
Everyone comes home, and I hope you don't cut this. I only want them to think, I hope you don't edit this. Hey, my Prayagji, this my channel. This should go everywhere. I see, I'm not against them, but what are they doing? One person thinks we are saying Thanksgiving and we are slaughtering a turkey and eating. Why? The turkey, tired of common food, forsook the barn and sought the wood. Behind her ran an infant train collecting there here a grave. Man, oh man, man cursed man on turkey praise, and Christmas shortens all our days. Thanksgiving they eat turkeys, no? For Christmas. In Christmas and Thanksgiving. Man, oh man, on turkey praise, and Christmas shorten all our days. Sometimes with oysters we combine, sometimes we assist the savory shine. Beautiful poem, The Turkey and the Ant, where the turkey is accusing man of eating, slaughtering turkeys and eating. And it is slaughtering ants. The ant is saying, what are you doing? You are complaining of man and you are slaughtering us and eating. Let animal activists, environmentalists, we are environmentalists. The only thing an animal activist can do is not to love preferential, is to love all animals. The only thing an environmentalist can do is not to be saying, no, don't burn carbon. How much fuel you're burning. Whether you're driving an electric car or you're not driving electric, stop eating animals. Or at least lessen the consumption of animals. Lessen slightly. Just start thinking. See what happens. Environment will heal itself. I was told, I was not here, I was told, in a place like Bombay Shore, there were dolphins which came. Because humans make so much noise and all the noise was subsided, so animals could come up and live their lives. In Hoffman Estate, there's a beautiful trail which goes. In Hoffman Estate, there's a beautiful trail which goes. Just sit down quietly. You see a little squirrel. America is all about squirrels. Squirrels, squirrels, squirrels. And one person said, oh, squirrels are rodents. They're nasty. Some grown-up child, I call them grown-up children, was 45, 46 years old. He said, he's telling his wife, oh, don't. These squirrels are rodents. They're like rats. They're nasty. Baba, why are you calling them nasty and all that? Shanti, Shanti. I would say Shanti. America is America. It's a dynamic country. It's a lovely country. And everybody calls it. One thing I hear is, Avniji, oh, this guy is crazy. That woman is crazy. These people are crazy, 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 crazy. I tell people, stop labeling people as crazy. If you find a person is crazy, it's because you are crazy. You are crazy, you find people crazy. And it becomes a part of your life. It becomes a part of your culture. Anyway, I know we have to leave, but
one question I definitely need you to answer before wind up for today. And I know we'll be talking more. This was beautiful, and I'm sure the viewers would learn a lot from this. And we want to do more of these, like I mentioned. And before we close, I do need you to speak about the upcoming Bhaja Govindam series and what's coming up. What does it hold for the audiences? Why should they attend? I know it's in Chicago and I'm so looking forward to it. Would like to hear more from you for the viewers so they know what's coming up.
Fantastic. Thank you. No, nobody is forced to attend, but they should attend because this Bhaja Govindam is a 5-day series talk. Each day is going to talk about some topic. First day, they're going to be the text Bhaja. Bhaja means seek. Govindam means the self. Seek that self. Seek God, which is within you. It's not only outside, it's within you. And it's got nothing to do with religion. It's going to teach you how step by step you can go there. So first day, probably we're going to introduce what is a human being and what is the world. Second day, probably we're going to introduce where the human mind today is going all over the place and is not able to control itself. You need not control the mind. You need to harness the mind. Scriptures are not saying deny yourself. No scripture says that be in a denial mode. Scriptures are only saying be in an elevating mood. You can have the world and you can use the world for your benefit. But you can't have the world and use it for your detriment. So we are going to be covering these 5 days. It's going to be life-changing. At least life-changing is not suddenly you're going to change. There's no change suddenly. But it'll give you, I call it seeding. It's going to be seeding you with different thoughts, which is going to be talking about where the human mind is constantly going, where are you heading, what needs a change. It's going to be talking about the cycle of birth and death. Is there life after death? Why are we born? What is the most attractive phenomena for a human being in this world, because of which we are causing destruction after destruction. We are fighting with each other. The most attractive for a man. Then he talks about how you believe that your family, your children, everything, they're everything for you. But you find that if you don't contact them properly, your family and children, they don't want you. So how do you harmonize your family? How do you harmonize your work? What is the work-life balance? Probably third day we'll speak on the work-life balance. Fourth day, he's going to talk about life and death. Is there life after death? Fifth day, he's probably going to conclude by giving you instructions of life. That you don't need to change your religion. You can be a Christian, you be a Christian. If you're a Muslim, you be a Muslim. If you're a Hindu, you be a Hindu. You don't need to change anything. Because Hindus don't change anything. They don't need to change anything. You've got everything. But it teaches you, wherever you are, whoever you are, wherever you are at this moment, how you can make a change in your life for the better. So Bhaja Govindam is a text by Sri Jagat Guru Adi Shankaracharya, the original Adi Shankaracharya, who is a beautiful lyrical text. It's a melody. But just by chanting the Bhaja Govindam, just by reciting the Bhaja Govindam, it gives you so much peace. So verse by verse, I think that it has 31 verses. We're going to take up those 31 verses in the 5 days, and verse by verse I'll be explaining what the significance of this text is. So it's going to be like, just as you come together for a marriage, you're drinking, dancing, then you won't wake up in the morning. There's pressure. But these 5 days is going to be a marriage. It's going to be a marriage of whom? Marriage of man, woman, non-binary, they with the philosophy. And you will find it's going to be like a celebration of life. To tell your viewers, come celebrate life. See what life is all about. Believe me, you will be in a state of trance. Trance means in a happy state, not in the trance of... Today trance is either you drink or you have drugs, music. You will be in a state of trance these 5 days. 24th of November until 28th of November. I think every day at 6:30, if I'm not mistaken. From 6:30 to 8 p.m. And Sunday only, I think, because we needed to give them, it's in the afternoon. I'm sure the details are there. And please, I would tell everyone to come. Everyone to come and listen. Everyone to come and like to share the experience. That's what Bhaja Govindam is going to be all about.
Thank you very much for that insight. And I would like to thank you on behalf of Outland Media. This is Avni Singh. And on behalf of all our viewers, thank you so much for that insight. And I would request, Namaskar, I would request all our viewers to please, make time and come to this celebration of life. Like Prayagji said, 24th November to 28th November. We are having this in Chicago. This is a golden opportunity to come explore within ourselves. So
sorry, Avniji, 2023.
2023.
This year.
Absolutely. This year. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Namaskar.